From meth labs to pill mills and now opioids, Tennessee has faced drug epidemics for decades, and that past experience is helping law enforcement officers tackle the current drug trends.
Last July, WBIR made a commitment to focus on the opioid epidemic sweeping our area. 1 year later, we're doing it again. Every day this month, we will share your stories of heartache, hope, and help. 10 News reporter Mark Salinger begins with a look at how past drug fights can actually change the future. Mark?
Robin and John, just halfway through the year, Knox County has already seen more than 150 suspected drug overdoses. In order for those numbers to drop, those on the front line say they have to use what they've learned from past epidemics to save lives now.
The war on drugs may seem never-ending.
You're beginning to make a little headway with one problem, then all of a sudden another one springs up.
Take away the supply of one drug, and addicts will turn to another.
It's not just a factor of supply versus demand. It also has to factor in their use and abuse.
In his 28 years in law enforcement, TBI special agent in charge of the drug division, Tommy Farmer, has seen it all. Years ago, it was meth labs, then pill mills, now opioids. They've learned treatment options are just as important as stifling the supply.
If you go too fast and you don't have enough treatment resources, then a cold reality to it is the majority of them are going to go to the streets for the illicit drug.
Governor Bill Haslam also says the meth epidemic helped shape how the state is now combating the opioid crisis.
We changed some laws around meth production. We increased some penalties for it. Put more money into law enforcement around that, and we've made a difference.
Haslam says there were 7.6 million prescriptions for opiates last year in Tennessee, a state with only 6.6 million people.
Everybody that I know knows somebody who's been affected by this.
Just last week, Haslam signed into law the Tennessee Together plan, limiting the amount of opioids that can be prescribed, among other things. The legislation aims to give people access to treatment while reducing the amount of drugs in the community.
Unfortunately, sometimes you just chase people from one bad drug to another. And what we're trying to do is make certain we don't do that here.
And Agent Farmer also says law enforcement began using equipment to protect themselves when responding to meth labs. That has helped them stay safe, responding to fentanyl overdoses today. Robin and John.
Mark Salinger, more reports to come. And already this year, 153 people have died from a suspected overdose death in Knox County alone. In all of last year, you can see the number was 294. If you or someone that you know is struggling with addiction, there are ways you can help them. You can find treatment options, local recovery centers, and contact information for the Tennessee Red Line, all at WBIR.com.